but it was a very, very strong laner. And so that was the one thing that I said that TRAKTOR should try to shore up, is that their lanes were not as dominant as they should have been. Part of it is probably because they were not hoping to send a Bristleback mid. I think that just kind of ended up happening. If that was the plan, then it failed miserably. So this time, just go for traditional mid laners. You already know the mid lane matchup probably. We have seen Death Prophet played into a variety of other roles. I mean, including even, I've seen some 4-position Death Prophet. I don't know if you've been privy to that, but SCA was trying to make that a thing for a little bit. So you probably know the mid lane matchup. Death Prophet's very, very strong, but just get something traditional. And DK, you don't really need to worry about him. I think that he'll be quite self-sufficient with an Oracle behind him. So just focus a little bit more on making sure that all of your individual lanes have even or superior matchups.
Yep, that makes sense to me. The Mirana, Cyber Legacy. This hero hasn't been so popular, but Cyber Legacy gonna throw it down anyways. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think people are trying to see if these. I know Crit has been spamming a fair amount of Mirana on some pubs. I don't know if he's just doing that for MMR or if he thinks that the hero is actually competitively viable. But after the arrow buffs, I think that people. I mean, Mirana's always been like a soft spot for a lot of competitive players. I think they just want an excuse to be able to pick her. I even saw like Arteezy playing some 1-position Mirana and then was just like, yeah, none of the builds are good on her. I don't know why I picked this.
But TRAKTOR say, hey, you know what? We want Mirana to be viable as well, so they're going to pick the Phoenix just to make it a good pick.
5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, so far there's not that much right click to be able to take care of the egg. Mirana definitely does help. Juggernaut is kind of on the come up right now. I don't know in CIS if Juggernaut is very popular. But yeah, Mirana is definitely going to be able to deal with this egg, and that's an interesting Phoenix pick. But again, I do think that TRAKTOR are very strong at teamfight execution, and so far DK and Oracle don't offer that much in terms of teamfight. So if they pick a Phoenix, and I don't know what they'll play it as, maybe they'll play it as a core. More likely it's going to be played as a 4-position, but we'll see what they want to do with it.
Yeah, the Mars gonna be. I think this is a forecast pick, right? They see what TRAKTOR are going for, and they just take it away. I'm fairly sure they wanted this Mars for themselves. I mean, it would make total sense to do that. Yeah, it would make total sense to do that. So, I think they've just denied this pick pretty heavily from them. I think TRAKTOR are getting outdrafted pretty heavily here, I would say. You've also got yourself an Oracle Phoenix support duo here, which. It's not horrible, but it doesn't seem that good. I mean, at least you have a decent amount of team fight with the Phoenix, you have a decent amount of save with the Oracle as well, but you're kind of just lacking that jump, that catch, that hero which is going to offer some kind of immediate lockdown to help you start fights. I guess the DK could do that a little bit, and they're going to try and go for the Naga instead.
Yeah, meanwhile in Cyber Legacy they have... Both their supports are very, very good at initiating and disabling. I mean, especially in concert with one another, but the overall initiating potential is much higher on Cyber Legacy, I definitely agree. And just having stuns in general is nothing you ever want to complain about. And so Cyber Legacy, they've got the snowball, they've got the arrow. Meanwhile, TRAKTOR, at best, they have the Oracle root, which is not really going to be that big of an issue for anyone other than maybe Mirana. And even the cores, like Death Prophet Silence is, I think, one of the main reasons why the hero's risen to prominence so heavily. She's obviously a great pusher, she's an extremely strong mid laner, very strong against DK especially, because Siphon will be able to scale as DK gets tankier and tankier, but overall, being able to interrupt any sort of teamfight execution with a Silence is going to be great, especially against what is probably looking like some sort of sleep setup on TRAKTOR. You go sleep, activate the egg, let the egg tick like 3 seconds, then cancel the sleep, and then hopefully you get a stun on everyone. It's probably what TRAKTOR are gearing up for, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't value that very much anymore. I used to think it was sick, but late game, like late game, it's pretty good. But when you dump it too much early on, I really feel like, trying to play Naga with her ulti down is entirely different to playing Naga with her ulti up. Like, you can just farm so aggressively. That's one of the strengths of the hero. If you keep trying to use that to set up your Phoenix egg, then you've got issues. But yeah, so I'm not like super into that combo, but it can come in very clutch, especially as a save, as an option for sure. I think it is good.
Right. I'm kind of surprised that Naga 4 hasn't kind of come back, because so many teams are opting for these sleep teamfight combinations. Like I've seen a lot of Darkseer being paired up with Naga Siren, which may be a thing this game as well. Just because they think that the sleep teamfight is so good. It's just that as a core, Naga Siren rarely wants to be with the team for like the first 30 minutes of the game, and so the biggest ingredient in your team fight superiority is with a hero that doesn't even want to participate in any team fights. So I'm a little bit surprised that lower farm priority Nagas aren't picking up in popularity, but she's a very, very strong carry just independently on her own right. And
Yeah, and they're just going to style here. They're going for the Invoker play. Okay. Well, you know, you've got a pretty sick combo here with the Phoenix Egg, the Naga Song, Cataclysm as well, if you wanted to go down that route, but it's very, very slow as well. I mean, it's an incredibly slow lineup from Cyber-Tractor. I feel like if Cyber Legacy do well in these lanes, there is nothing to stop this Death Prophet just running down towers. That's my biggest concern.
Remaining.
Yeah, even with Quaswax, which again, it's nice for song setups into like EMP and Cataclysm, like you said. I don't know how you get these heroes off your tower, and now Pikachu on the Leshrac, so it's going to be a safe lane Death Prophet, and they're instead going to have Leshrac be their 22nd pick to go up against this mid Invoker, which at this point you're pretty much guaranteed for it to be a mid Invoker, so yeah, Traktor has definitely gotten resoundingly outdrafted in my opinion.
Yeah, this is going to be a quick game, I think. The problem you've got here is that they kind of just... I mean, maybe the DK's off lane, isn't he? Yeah, Savage and K's are on the two supports. Ooh, boy.
Because, like, Cyber Legacy didn't even stall out their picks. They were like, oh, are you going to send DK mid? Or are you going to turn into, like, a 4-position Invoker and, like, a 3-position Phoenix? Maybe we'll send the Death Prophet to go mid. They were like, I don't really care what you're doing. Whatever you pick, it's not going to be as good as our lanes.
Yeah.
So...
Oh god, this is so brutal as well. I mean, this Leshrac just deals so well. This Naga is the one thing she had going for her, which I hadn't gotten to yet, but did plan on mentioning, was that there's mostly physical damage on the side of Cyber Legacy before this Leshrac came out. You've got God's Rebuke, yes, it's okay wave clear against the Naga, but she's very high armor. Morana doesn't really do much magic damage, Starstorm's very meh, Tusk hardly does any, Death Prophet's all physical, but then you get this Leshrac, and you suddenly go, well, this Naga doesn't really have a game anymore, and she does not like building Herd. She does not build Pipe. She doesn't build BKB. This is like, if you're a Naga player and you see a Leshrac, you always just go, I don't get to play the game I want to play anymore. You don't get to play that, just group up in team fights with all your illusions and just run someone down, drain all their mana and get the free kill, because you just get split earth and killed off by a Leshrac. Like, it's too strong.
That's the case with most of these illusion carries. Terrorblade, CK, Phantom Lancer, they are all fall victim to the Leshrac, which I am curious what Cyber-Tractor's last ban was, because if there was a hero that I was terrified of, the only thing is that maybe they were assuming that the Death Prophet was mid, which, I mean, is a pretty safe assumption, but these days we're seeing Death Prophet, or just a lot of mid laners be moved to the safe lane if there's a better matchup. Like, Ember Spirit will oftentimes be picked in the first phase, and then be like, we'll just turn it into the safe lane because there's a better mid lane matchup. So whatever the last ban was, it probably wasn't as important as banning out a Leshrac, so Cyber-Tractor definitely have their work cut out for them in this game too.
Yeah, and also I would say, you know, you don't have to necessarily worry about the Leshrac. He could go, I mean, he is going safe lane actually. He can go safe lane anyway, and it looks like he is, so DP also heading up top. What the hell? Oh, he took the shed tangos. My bad, I've been baited.
Yeah. I think they're just trying to challenge the first runes. I actually would not be surprised if they could also get like 3 out of the 4 runes, because all these heroes are also very, very strong at early levels, whereas Phoenix does not offer a whole heck of a lot, Oracle does not offer a lot, Naga's very tanky, DK's very tanky, but they don't scare people, they just don't die. And then Invoker's utterly useless.
Yeah, he is not going to enjoy this. Yeah, the one thing they've got, I mean, if they can get off some sick team fight, if they can somehow find the Cataclysm on Invoker,
this was clever.
Your team fight's disgustingly good, but getting there is a whole different ball game. And we know that Cyber Legacy, they have a plan this game. Their plan is to run over these lanes and run over the game afterwards as well. They do not want to give Cyber-Tractor a chance to breathe in this game. They want to just cut the tops of their snorkels.
Which they may end up losing their Observer War in the mid lane. Naga Siren skilled up Mirror Image and sent the illusions, as we've been seeing Heroes usually stand in these little gaps in between the tree lines to see if there's vision around. So they did confirm that there's a ward in the mid lane, but I don't know if they're going to be able to counter it. I don't even know if they're going to be able to get to their lanes. Yeah, it is going to be
get any
4.
runes.
Yeah,
that's the thing, right?
I was gonna say 4. I said 3 out of the 4, but I was just like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be 4 out of the 4.
Need to stick to your convictions, sir. But yeah, the interesting thing to note there is that like the Oracle was positioned on these steps. He saw the 2 heroes coming, and he was like, "Oh guys, they're gonna come for me. I've got to back off." And then these guys are like, "Well, we don't want to get cut off either," so they back off. And everyone's just like, "We have all the vision. We have the advantage." Yet our heroes are just so outmatched here that we can't actually stick here and claim any bounties. And this is already a horrific start to the game, losing all 4 bounties like this. And
and Pikachu actually strategically, he did not block his first wave, and so all of it basically went into the tower. And it's a Quas Invoker, so he had no damage. The entire first wave got denied or missed. Although it seems like it also went the same way around for the left strike as well, though it didn't get denied, he just didn't get the CS.
Yeah, no one's CS. I mean, Bob Rio was doing a good job just with the cold snap to try and mess with Pikachu, but I assume this was meant to be an Exalt Invoker, but because of the left strike, he's being run down here a little bit. Is he going to be able to run down? I mean, the creeps aren't arrived yet. Bob Ruha dropping real low. Yeah, it's going to pop that very far. Pikachu not done Lens Split Earth, but not enough damage to kill off that Invoker. But it does get perilously low here on Bob Ruha, and does have a salve coming out to him slowly, but it's going to be a long-ass time before it arrives.
In both games, it definitely seemed like Pikachu is just the far superior mid laner. Granted, the Bristleback versus Storm Spirit matchup, I don't imagine ever going in Bristleback's favor, but Pikachu, you can just tell, like, he knows all these little things that make the mid lane that much more effective. As an Arrow was farming some camps, actually, so Bignum has not started rotating quite yet.
Guess he doesn't feel the need to. He's just like, nothing's gonna go
maybe
wrong
once
here.
he hits level 2, once he has Starstorm, then it should be an easy pick on, honestly, most of the lanes, but probably mid is what he's going to target specifically.
Yeah, I just want to ensure Pikachu's game. I mean, Leshrac, he can run over this game, absolutely. There's nothing to stop him here whatsoever.
No.
You give him a free lane, then he's going to take the game for you. He's going to win it. And Pikachu's definitely a player which will carry out that momentum for you. But let's have a look towards some other lanes. To brighter pastures for Cybertraktor. Here is Retsu's off to a pretty good start in the bottom lane.
Arrow might be coming mid.
Oh, nailing him. And now we're in some real trouble. Split that's got to follow, but it's too late. He does get off the Tornado. Can they finish the job, though? They certainly can. Still landing a split off regardless. And Kaiser a little bit too late to this party. Down goes Bob Ruha. That's going to be a first blood. And that is exactly what you want not to happen. But back to brighter pastures for the Radiant. Retsu is farming pretty nicely, 12 and 2, highest on the map, and also things going pretty well in the off lane for Cybertraktor here. So if we look away from that mid, it's not awful.
Sure, that's fair. And I will say that these are both lanes that don't necessarily, like, they'll get stronger once they get more levels. Right now, the tag team in this top lane is like the strongest spell right now, but eventually the Fire Spirits and DK just getting tankier and tankier with the Dragon's Blood will make it even easier for Cybertraktor. And in the safe lane, actually, Retsu mono a mono with a Mars, like you said, it's mostly physical damage coming out of a Mars, so a 9 armor Naga Siren does not have really anything to be concerned about.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it kind of goes both ways, though, right? Because the Mars also very resistant to the physical damage, which the illusions are going to do. But at the same time, Naga doesn't really care about damaging her opponent. As long as she can just farm creeps, she's happy to just sit here.
Dire's courier has been killed.
And also, I think hopefully we'll see Kaiser making some stacks this time. We didn't see him do it much last game, but for his gyro. But I'm hoping this time we see some stacks being made for Naga, because she can be left alone here. He's got a free time. I feel like if he just spends his time pulling, then I mean it's still going to be good, obviously, but last year it's not going to have much of a problem just roaming over and trying to deal with it here, as we see. He can use his time more profitably, I feel. I mean, there's no point pulling if you're not actually going to deny Mars any of these creeps.
Exactly, and Oracle's not really rotating either, so meanwhile, Mirana's leaving her Mars alone, and she's getting stuff done around the map. Not recently, but she did get that first blood at least. Meanwhile, Oracle not really mitigating Mars's experience gains, not really stacking, not really accelerating Naga's farm. So I do agree that Kazar could maybe spend his time more wisely elsewhere on the map.
Indubitably. Meanwhile, Bignum looking for the wraparound here. I'm going to say hello to his good chum, Quasar. Has got an arrow available should he want it, but I believe he wants his Mars a little bit closer should they want to start on something here. And the arrow just going to fly forwards. Does actually miss the bounty rune. Well, it hits the bounty rune, but there was no one on it. So, a little bit interesting there from Bignum, just trying to predict it. But he does find Naga's Courier at the very least. Finds something for his troubles, but still not grabbing that bounty like he wanted.
The prize is mine.
Pikachu's about to hit level 6 in this mid lane, and our Zeke is showing up. EMP Tornado. Oh, the Illusion Rune dodge on the EMP!
He's still got full mana, happy as anything to keep on going here, though. Quasar does come in, drop a decent amount of damage and kills off Pikachu. The return is there. Meanwhile, Savage going to throw some fire on to Bignum and Zeke, but that's going to be about it. And now this... if you want a very childish chuckle, have a look at what Arzik has named his Observer Ward. I don't think I can show that on stream any longer, but
his Observer.
Yeah, there's one behind. Yeah, you got it.
I have the same cosmetic, but I have not named it nearly as creatively as that one.
Well, that is that is wonderful. Some very creative use of the naming tool.
An Easter egg for anyone who's watching in the game, I suppose.
Yeah. Zeke being harassed away a little bit by Quasar and Savage here as these guys are kind of grouped up to, well, be a force on the map, I suppose. But another arrow comes down. Bob-Ruha walks into it. Pikachu, he's ready. They've got the shards coming through as well. Bob-Ruha will be losing his life here, I believe. Down he shall go. Bignum claims that kill. This mid lane is going absolutely horrendously. 19-5 with 2 deaths under his belt now, this Invoker. Not having a good time. Did I say 2? Yeah. I meant 3.
And all of these... There was only one return kill going the way of Radiant whenever they traded the Leshrac, but Invokers not being able to participate in any of this experience, and the days of Midas Invoker are long, long gone.
They are indeed. Retsu getting jumped upon here, and Palantimos turns up with that Spirit Siphon just to seal the deal, and also has himself an Exorcism along with a Catapult, so this tower probably starting to feel a little bit nervous. Oh god, there's a lot of heroes coming to my lane, a Catapult as well. No one's going to be defending me right now. Goodbye.
No, and they already took down mid also, so at least the glyph comes back, but I don't really think that anyone's going to help defend this bot tier 1 tower as structures are just going down left and right.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And I'm just looking at each of these lanes and thinking, well, Cybertractor, you know, they can play around their, oh no, you can't really play around Invokers, you've got no items. Alright, they can play around their DK, well, I mean, he doesn't really have anybody to play with, is the thing.
DK got actually destroyed. I'm amazed at how one-sided this ended up being. Death Prophet, granted, has claimed 2 tier 1 towers, but she is 1k net worth up on the DK, and what I would have considered to be like a fairly even lane. I would have felt that Phoenix plus DK is pretty comparable to a Death Prophet and a Tusk, where half the time the Tusk was roaming mid, so I'm really impressed with how well Palantimos has done.
It's really disgusting as well, because Palantimos, he hits his 6, gets the Exorcism, takes a tower, and Polkovnik, thank you. He doesn't hit his 6, so he's just sitting in his top lane going like, well, staring at the tower, I wish I could do something to you, Mr. Tower, but I can't.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
No, and he may not even be able to do very much with his first dragon form, as well, as it seems that a army of heroes, or rather just a duo, are going to find the Oracle.
Yeah, he doesn't last very long whatsoever. K's are going to get absolutely ruined.
No, Pikachu, your neutral items. Your neutral items. They're not. Well, actually, Arcane Ring is pretty good. Okay, well, his Ocean Heart is also not actually bad.
I still think you want the Arcane Ring as Leshrac.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he wants the Arcane Ring.
The extra armor, the extra in.
Yeah, there we go.
I think Arcane Ring is one of the craziest tier 1 items if you're an int hero. It's 10 intelligence, 3 armor.
It's immensely value. I'm amazed it even has an active. Just as like a passive item, it would still be quite good.
Yeah.
Another tier 1 tower claimed. I don't really blame Cybertractor for not defending any of them, because they cannot take a fight. Exorcism is now up in 1 second though, so if they start losing tier 2 towers, they may need to
Oh,
at least like show up.
Zeke's not really actually going to make much of a play on him here. Does get out in nice shards and almost blocks him in a little bit here, but the Mars a little bit late to this party and everyone's a little bit split right now. TRAKTOR's still just looking to hit these timings, it seems. They want their DK to get an item before they start playing with him. They want their Invoker to find himself at least his phase boots. Jesus, these heroes are so poor.
That's pretty rough. The concept of ever going for Cold Snap Urn maybe just ruled out at this point. I don't even know if Babru is going to be able to make that in time.
Yeah, the pressure's going to be too great from Cyber Legacy, his last hero. Sitting in Viz on top of Savage right now. Spear comes out, pinning him to the side of the wall. Arrow's going to come flying through as well. Savage, though, jumps himself forwards, but no. In comes the God's Rebuke, puts an end to Savage's life. I mean,
at least that fight came out at 30 seconds after the outpost got claimed, so at least it was 1-to-1 outpost. But
they get a bit of XP. Really clutching here, Tsunami.
I mean, I hope so, because at a certain point they are going to need to fight. Polkovnik has hit level 6, so he has Dragon Form, but like, I don't know who he fights with. The Invoker is level 8 at least, but has literally no items. Has like, it's fourth lowest net worth right now on this Invoker. You would think it was a 4-position Invoker based off of these numbers.
Crikey, he has got nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Palantimos roaming around. I mean, he wants to do something with this exorcism right now. Oh, sleep.
Oh, he's got the snowball from the side. Oh, Zeke's going to cancel the TP. Sleep might not even get Retsu out of here. The tip comes out. Sharp's going to be thrown a little bit off the mark, though. Retsu might have the opportunity to escape here, but no. The spear comes in, pins him to a tree. Everybody now on top of him. Splinter's going to come through as well. Kaiser, though, comes over, but doesn't have an ulti. Or did have an ulti, but...
yeah, I'm surprised.
Decides to go for the Clutch Fate's Edict instead.
I'm pretty sure she would have lived, because he had a salve in his inventory also. Naga does not have a wand, but still, like, it may have been enough. I don't know. Regardless, if they don't take any objectives, I guess it's okay. And right now, Cyber Legacy are not really congregating on a tower, despite having Exorcism up. This is a marked difference from how they were playing around the Dragon Form in Game 1, because they were just consistently popping that and taking objectives left and right, whereas here, it seems like with Palantimos' Exorcism, they're not really as interested in taking towers, they're more interested in finding kills.
Yeah, I mean, they're happy to just kind of choke them out the map rather than actually focus on these towers. It just doesn't seem that important to them. They know that they're getting so little for a team that needs so much. That's pretty much the fundamental bottom line of this game. And
that's true, but I will say that late game is heavily favored for Radiant, as opposed to in the previous game where they had the DK, they had the Storm Spirit. I was cool with like whatever pace Cyber Legacy were willing to take it, but this game, like, if you let the game go past 40 minutes, Leshrank is going to fall off compared to Nagasaran.
Yeah, not wrong. But I don't think they will. I
don't think they will either.
Yeah, they know their timings. They know what they're looking for here. They just want to grab these key items. I mean, yeah, Pikachu, he's got those boots of travel, pushing down this bottom lane. The tier 2 nearly taken all by himself. Mid lane, Bob Bruha's here to be able to defend it, so it's kind of tricky for them to really do much. Meanwhile, up towards top, they're mounting a little push of their own here. DK's just sitting in the trees. Retsu, he's got these mirror images to throw out as well.
Moonlight shadowing, but it's going to be a long single file march towards the top lane, as they don't really have a collection of heroes, and there's a lot of Radiant sentries peppered throughout the map as well to make sure they don't get caught off guard, and Traktor's going to evacuate.
Yep, they're out of there. Don't stick around too long. I mean, it's fairly nice playing on the map here from them. They're getting pressure onto this tier 2, and with the DK still sitting around, I would actually really like to see him just kind of come out of the trees and start pressuring this tier 2 the moment they show him mid. We'll see if he's got the patience to do that.
The thing is that no one's TP'd on Cyber Legacy. They keep just walking around the map. No one's ever like putting their scroll on cooldown. Now, actually, we have a handful as Leshrac going to go up top.
Oh, it doesn't land the stop. It's just not in time though.
Close.
Yeah, and that's a bit of time wasted from Pikachu. And now immediately drawn in the bottom lane. They want to go and push bottom, which makes total sense. The Illusion's already doing it, in fact.
Oh wow, they smoke
up. They're looking for a fight here. Naughty. We need to see the Naga in engaging in the fight as well.
Yeah, if they can get a clean pick on like one hero and then quickly get out, it would be perfect.
Yeah, and Plan Space might be
But-
that hero, but they're really, really... Okay,
Pikachu?
even
They're pinning
better.
him.
Yeah, they need to go now, though. And they go. Okay, Cold Snap being used. Tornado being thrown down as well. Polgrove getting on top of him as well. Stun comes out onto his Leshrac, and he is not tanky enough to survive all of this. They've pinged out the Death Prophet behind here. I mean, Retsu has a song, but doesn't want to use it just on the opportunity of getting a Death Prophet. I mean, one flip side of using Song, which I think is really important for Nagas to understand, and one thing which I criticized Charlie off on NIP when he plays Naga, is that sometimes when you use this song to just reset a fight, you can incidentally shift the numbers against you. If you use it and only 3 of the enemy heroes have joined the fight so far, it just gives more heroes time to TP in, make their way over, and that can be a real bad thing. So I think if he did Song for that Death Prophet there, allow his team to get in position, then you'd also see Cyber Legacy maybe even buying back on the Leshrac. But meanwhile, Bob Ruha running in some circles here, but it's going to get healed up, so the Mars Arena going to get wasted somewhat. But at the same time, this was like a push deep. You know, these fights taking place really, really deep on the enemy side of the map. And now the song comes out from Retsu. He knows where he is, and he's going to find him. Moonlight Shadow's being used, though. Do they have the division here? They do have a sentry down. They actually really tried hard to go for this one, but there's an entire team behind him, and actually all those shards are not good. Last hero is on the wrong side of this one, and in comes the...
Oh no, the Phoenix
he
went
got
into the silence!
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Could have been huge, but unfortunately doesn't manage to get off that egg. And pinging out, guys, there's a ward up there. And I'll get rid of that one quite quickly, but yeah, that could have been amazing. But unfortunately, Savage gets silenced, no egg today, and that is the power of the DP. I mean, there's a reason why people consider silence, the ability, literally it's just called silence, to be one of DP's strongest spells.
Yeah, I guarantee Savage was mashing that R button. If he had managed to get up on the high ground or even on that cliff, then it would have been devastating. And again, like, this is why I'm seeing glimpses of greatness from TRAKTOR. They're clearly a team that knows what they need to do. It's just that their laning phase is just not up to par compared to what Cyber Legacy are capable of, which again is like totally fair given the amount of experience that Legacy have compared to the TRAKTOR players. But it's encouraging that they're making all the right moves. It's just like even getting that Leshrac kill, it was perfect timing. Like I said, they needed to find a clean pick. They could not get any sort of team fight situation going. If so much as even like one more hero was with that Leshrac, then it could have totally gone the other way. But they got Pikachu completely isolated. The song there into the potential egg setup. Like they're going for it again. They're another smoke up.
Fantastic scan from the Diocese amount though.
Yeah. And they're just gonna...
The counter smoke.
Exorcism is down, so it's a bit bold for Cyber Legacy to go into this. And Leshrac is up top, but he does have BOTs.
Yeah, he can be here if he needs to be. And they're going to find the DK. Oh, God's Rebuke fails to cancel out the blink, though. Polkovnik gets himself away.
Polkovnik's been playing very well. Every single time that he's split pushing and the Leshrac starts BOTing onto him, he immediately like quick reflexes to get out. Because if he's like even like half a second too slow, he will get hit by the Split Earth. As now bot lane, the Invoker will get caught out.
Yeah, I mean, that sucks as well, because he's just trying to push out that wave. He's just trying to find his team some space, and unfortunately, he's not the hero that really should be doing that. But then you look at the other heroes and go, well, who really could? DK is probably your best bet, but he is doing that up at top, and he almost got caught out in the bottom lane just a second ago, so you've got to be really careful when you're in this bottom lane. Unfortunately, losing your Evoker like that is just another big problem for Cyber TRAKTOR now.
I'm curious if Invoker had his urn completed whenever they got that kill on the Leshrac in the top lane, because he's at 0 charges. It's possible that he may have used some charges whenever they were trying to kill that Mars with the song setup, but a 0 charge urn Invoker is utterly useless.
Yeah.
And now high ground's getting pushed, and he contributes like a tornado EMP, and that's it.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much been him all game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, Cold Snap getting used, and Pikachu, it's having a bit of a headache here.
Not even using it off.
No, very little care is being shown. Headache is all it is. And
He's trying to push top, though. Making a little bit of progress, but the creep wave is a long ways away.
Yeah, he just had one, but I think there was... I don't know if there was a Fortify from... Yeah, there was a Fortify from the Dire, which killed off that creep wave. And now Leshrac just going to TP himself up here. There just seems to be so little pressure for Cyber Legacy. Like, they're not playing like a team which is worried about anything right now. They're just taking it at their own pace. They're not overcommitting. They're not really getting too caught up and saying, oh, we need to break high ground now. You know, we don't want to get to the late game, because they know that just if you keep an advantage, the opportunities will come. Keep calm, my child.
Naga Siren will eventually carry you. That's the hope.
Yeah, also true for TRAKTOR. They, I mean, they got to be feeling good every time that Cyber Legacy walk away from their high ground. And Naga's not unfarmed. She's not rich. She's not ahead, but she's not unfarmed.
Yeah, I mean, she will be able to get kills. It's just that they need a team fight. She's not a force to be reckoned with solo, so if any one hero, like even Tusk, can get away from this Naga Siren solo, but once she completes the Diffusal Blade, then all of a sudden the team fight becomes that much more intimidating, because I think Cyber Legacy are also kind of being a little bit cocky that they don't think they're going to need BKBs on any of their heroes, but if Bob Ruhat starts getting some Urn charges, the Cold Snap into Urn will be quite irritating, even though you have the Yules on the Leshrac and the Death Prophet. That's just one purge. There are a lot of spells that can make a team fight very, very unpleasant for Cyber Legacy if there's ever a full 5-on-5 engagement. And again, Polkovnik, man, he's doing such a good job at not getting caught out. I can't believe he's done 0 times. He's 0-0-1 in a 12k deficit, which is amazing for a DK.
Yeah, you gotta say, especially at DK, which has spent most of his game like in this area of the map.
Yeah, exactly. He's been in enemy territory almost the entire time.
He's living the dream right now. But here is an opportunity for Cyber Legacy. Roshan is going to be the call here. I'm not entirely sure what exactly has triggered this call here for Roche. Nothing's actually happened. I don't think any items have been picked up either. They're just like, ah, screw it, let's get in here.
And they can take it without having to use Exorcism, I think is the main thing.
Mars barely taking any damage from this Roshan attempt whatsoever. Should Bulwark work on Roshan is one of my questions I want to ask about this Mars hero.
Oh, you think he needs buffs?
What? No. Bulwark should not work on Roshan.
Oh, yeah, it should not work. Yeah.
It just adds like another layer to this hero, which is just a bit silly.
Oh no.
Song being used, Egg being thrown down as well. They're looking for the combo here. In comes EMP coming on down as well, but they've got... Oh no, the Yules and the Snowball makes the whole thing absolutely worthless. Savage going to go down now with the blast coming on through as well. Kaiser going to be the next one, loses life. Retsu in some trouble in the middle of it all. They have got other false promise onto the Invoker, but that's not going to do much. Retsu going with the fairly cute bait here to get himself away. Big Them's pinging it out. They're looking over towards Polkovnik as well. They want to bring down this hero at least once this game, and they should be able to do exactly that. Snowball forwards. Here they've got the damage. Here they've got the power to bring down poor old Polkovnik Mamontov. Poor guy. I'm very natural at pronouncing these names, aren't I?
I would do an over-the-top accent, but I imagine we probably have a lot of CIS and Russian viewers that I don't want to offend, so just gonna stick with the old Polkovnik. But yeah, this is why Darkseer is considered to be like an important ingredient, and why the buff to be able to vacuum invulnerable units was so big, because if you're able to stack the vacuum on top of like the downtime of the song, then you can add on to that disable time, and so you can prevent a Yules from coming out, you can prevent a BKB from coming out, you can prevent a Snowball from coming out. But if you don't have that, it is like nearly impossible to perfectly be able to disable a hero long enough in between the song and the Supernova stun or Tornado. Like even Ice Path won't be able to do it, even though it's like constantly there. So it's again, like I see what TRAKTOR are going for, and it was a worthy attempt, but it's just too late.
Heroes which you just can't get either. Like the Tusk has Snowball, the DP has Yules. Like it's really unfortunate you catch those two out, but at the same time you don't commit the egg on top of those two heroes. Like you know that's just not going to happen. No matter how perfect you get it, you're probably not going to be able to nail it that hard. Very sad.
Do they even... No, they still have the Aegis as well, and they have plenty of time left on the stage. It's 2.5 minutes, nearly.
Interesting there from Savage. Sunrays, and then TP's outstanding still. Kind of forgot the old walking forward part of that one. I mean, I don't play Phoenix. Do you just like right-click over on the side of the map and then click TP, and then he just keeps on moving?
No, it's like a part of the... It's like the sub-spell of Sunrays that you click it, and then it toggles movement.
That's very strange.
Yeah, it is kind of strange, but technically Phoenix is like one of the very, very last Warcraft 3 heroes, and so he still has some kind of Warcraft 3 holdovers. Him and
some of the Warcraft 3 jank left in him.
Yeah, exactly. And which hasn't been ruled out. Most of the Warcraft 3 jank has been cleared out in modern Dota 2, but there's still some remnants.
Give people a bit of nostalgia, you know, that little kick they need. And now they go high ground. There is no DK pushing this time around, but they're going to go for this one. Savage, he has got the egg. They're going to try and land it this time around. Will they be able to? Is the question. Will they get the stun out? Actually, they got the DP. Planto's going to lose his life, and the egg's going to come crashing on down. Bob Ruhar is absolutely fine, and Pikachu is not. He's taken pretty heavy hits here, but they get the turn. They get the kill onto Savage, and now Bob Ruhar not in a great place either. He's going to get killed off. They didn't really fully commit to that fight. In fact, Naga actually backed out a moment after that egg pop. She was gone. She was like, all right, this fight's not happening for us. I don't know. I feel like I would like to see a bit more commitment from them there, but they don't. They back off, and now they're going to lose their racks. I thought it was really close to them going well there. Like a bit more damage onto Pikachu, and oh, mind you, had the Aegis.
And then, yeah, he would be able to take off the Aegis. That's really the best case scenario. I mean, he has it for another 50 seconds, though, so, like, if you don't take it off then, like, are you really going to be able to take it off in time before you don't lose another set of racks?
Yeah, true. They jump forwards here. I mean, they're not timing this right if they're trying to bring down Pikachu's Aegis, and actually the DK might have just fed his life away by blinking in on this one, and that is certainly going to be the case. Now they're just too afraid to jump forward and go for anything here, as Savage comes rolling on through, just trying to get a couple of these Fire Spirits down, trying to slow down the push of Cyber Legacy, but Cyber Legacy are going absolutely nowhere. They're just chilling. And they GG. GG's are called. They're going to tap out of this one, and that's going to be game number 2. Go to Cyber Legacy.